Hi.
Hey,
How are
welcome to
you?
Dulce by the
Oh,
New York
thank
Latino
you.
Film Festival. Hey, girl.
Thank you. Am I sideways?
You kind of are.
How do I fix this? Hold on. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I told you I'm 100 years old. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. How
It's
are you?
okay. It's so lovely to see you. It's so
Good to see
lovely
you
to like
too.
virtually meet you. You know?
I'm over
You,
here trying to set this up. Look, look. Okay. Okay. We're good.
okay.
You ready?
Okay. You look fabulous.
Thank you so much. How are you
Yes.
doing? Are you healthy? Are you happy? Everything's good?
I'm healthy. I'm
Good.
happy. I'm so excited to be here. I feel blessed, just to be in conversation, with an
Yes.
awesome Latina. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just awesome. I'm so
Yeah.
thrilled to be here.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about the question that was just asked about Afro Latina shows that are out there. I
Yeah.
don't know that there's any that are centered, but I think you guys just had on Dulce, you just had Julissa Calderon, and she's in Gentified, which just got a second season. So you should definitely
Exactly.
check that out because the work on that show
Exactly.
is
And if
incredible.
anything, right, this conversation is for us to amplify that we need more, that we
Oh my
want more,
gosh.
that we need more. The fact that we're
Yes,
like having to look for the one show or the one little thing somewhere in the nooks and crannies is kind of
exactly.
crazy, right?
Yeah, and just the lens that being Latinx really covers. There's so many different stories, there's so many different places, there's so many different shades, there's so many different experiences, and they're all valuable, they're all valid, they all need to be told.
Exactly. Different hair types, you know what I mean? Different
Oh my
looks,
God, yeah,
right?
yes,
And it's
different
all
everything.
good.
Yeah,
Well, I'm so excited to be talking with you
thank
because
you.
I got a chance to see the film Long
Oh,
Gone
good,
By, and
good.
it's playing right now on the HBO Latino and HBO. And honestly, I
Crazy.
saw it through the HBO app, so that was
Yep.
pretty easy for me to just be able to see it. And
Awesome.
let me tell
Yeah,
you,
it's crazy. I didn't even have HBO when it premiered. I was like, wait a minute. I was out here posting about it, and I was like, wait, I need to go get HBO. I don't even have HBO. I gotta watch that movie. So I had to
yeah,
go download
and
the
this is
app
a
and
good
stuff.
time to see stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes,
As people are at home,
yes,
unfortunately
yeah,
for all the stuff that's going on, but it's also a good opportunity to catch up on
yeah,
things that are out happening in the world.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a really weird thing. It's like, it's hard because we're not able to get out there and promote it the way we would really want to, but it's also, people are at home more, and so there's not as much happening, so more people are talking about it, which is, great too.
absolutely. And it's so timely. I mean,
Yeah.
the themes of the film, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll share a little bit about it, but I don't want to share too much because I really want people to check it out. So
Yeah,
I don't
me
want us to
too.
get too much, you know. But we have a mom, Ana Alvarez, right? And her
Hmm.
daughter, Izzy. And she's a single mom. She's from Nicaragua and she's here in the United States. On top of that, she's not even in like New York. She's in Indiana,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Having to like survive what that looks like.
yeah,
But two things happen, right? Where the daughter really gets into a really awesome opportunity to go to school, right? To go to
yeah,
university. But then the mother, at the other hand, all of a sudden gets these deportation papers, right? And
yeah,
like for me to see the love and loyalty between the mother and the daughter, but also the risk and sacrifice that was made was just out of this
yeah. It
world.
was it was really crazy, even just to play it, and even just to play it in that place, Warsaw, Indiana, which is just this sort of small town Americana kind of picture book place, and then to play that story. And the girl who plays my daughter in the film is actually my niece.
Oh,
She had never acted before a day in her life. This is
what?
her very first, yeah, her very first movie,
Yeah, I
and
gotta check her out. She's fantastic.
she's incredible. I honestly can't believe we auditioned a bunch of young girls, but she just came in there and she just had that sort of that strength, that innocence, that
Right,
drive. That's just who she is. She's like that actually in real
right,
life,
right.
So yeah, it was surreal to shoot that and to tell that story. It was really, really
Awesome.
great.
And the bond was there. I mean, this mother and the daughter, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That the love is there. But it was also like the silences were also what really
yes,
attracted me, was such a great tool to be able to like people that love each other also don't tell each other everything,
oh my
right? Like the
God,
secrets that we keep to protect
yeah.
each other.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves in movies, when you see people saying things that like nobody says to their mom every day, like, I love you, mom, you're the best. You know,
Right.
it's a subtle, it's quiet, and I think one of the things that Andrew was doing, even Andrew's the director and writer of the film, was
Right.
wanting to tell the story in those silences and not wanting to tell anybody anything, just wanting to have the relationship speak for itself and these people speak for themselves, and just kind of let the story unfold in a more natural way. Because what happens is sort of crazy. So
Yeah.
trying to figure out how you go from where it started to that craziness, it was
Right.
unique, and it was really great as an actor to get to play that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious for you as an actress getting this role, right?
Oh my
And having
God.
to tackle all these emotional things that, you know, that she's having to go through. How did you prepare? You know,
Well, you
what did
know,
you kind of, yeah.
it's crazy. Like I've been in this industry for a really long time. My very first job, I was, you know, I went to an open call for Rent back in the day.
Hello.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way. I mean, I had to be dragged to the audition, and because I was like, there's no way, I'm never gonna book this. I went, and within a week, I was on a plane to New York, just with my, I mean, I used to be a rent head. I used to wait in line for the lottery, and within a
So
week,
did I. Oh my God.
right? I mean,
Yes, me and Dominic would wait. Oh my God, my friend Dominic, we would
yeah, he
wait
told me.
online, and we
He
would go
told,
see it like 3 or 4 times. Okay, we are
yes.
redheads too, baby.
Yeah, it's bananas. And back then, you know, back then it's very much like Broadway now. I mean, this was like quite a few years ago, and they were like, oh, Rent solved the problem. Look at all the multicolored people on Broadway.
Right.
And then like after Rent, it was like everybody's, you know, white again. And then no, Hamilton fixed everything. And now it's
Right.
like right back to what it was.
Mm-hmm. Crickets. Yep.
But you know, I got there, and that's like my very first job. And from that moment, you know, and I'll tell you some stories about that too. I had this crazy I think it was just that imposter syndrome. Like, I don't belong here. What am I doing here? Because even though I knew I loved what I was doing, and I knew I had the passion, and then they you know, I booked this open call out of, you know, thousands of people. I felt like I didn't belong, and that imposter syndrome sort of followed me throughout my whole career. So this movie, you know, I worked a little bit. I've done guest stars and little things. I've never had an opportunity like this where, you know, at this stage in my life, at this stage in my career, someone is telling me they want me to hold the entire film. And the thing with Andrew, who's the writer and director, he had just finished a really successful documentary called The True Cost, which you should check out. It's really good. It's about fast fashion in the industry. And he had clout. He was having conversations with name actors, people that wanted him to make films with them. And instead, for reasons I still don't know, I mean, he and I were working on a documentary series together. I was producing it, story producing it, but he just said, I want you to be in this film. I never auditioned for it. He never even saw my work. I mean, he saw a reel I had, but he just has said that he felt like, you know, he wanted to, if he was going to do this, he wanted to use the platform for someone whose work he, you know, he wanted to amplify. And so it was a huge opportunity, and a lot of that imposter syndrome started creeping up again. Like, you can't carry this movie. You don't have the ability. Like, if you were going to make it, you would have made it by now. So there was a lot of fear. But then I just kind of told myself, you know, I gotta give myself permission. And I think that's what we all have to start telling ourselves. We got to give ourselves permission to take up space.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the sort of kind of weird place we find ourselves in, is like, we find ourselves in this position of like wanting to tell our stories, of knowing that they're valuable, knowing that our audience is powerful, and our audience can amplify and can do so much, but being also struggling with that imposter syndrome that's really real. Like, oh, I don't belong here. I don't have the same experience. And you have to just tell yourself, like, I have a right to be here. My stories are valuable, and I have the ability to carry this, because just by virtue of being a human being on this planet, this is a story that deserves to be told. So like, this is a long answer, but once I got rid of that and gave myself permission to take up space, then all the pieces just fell into place. And from the first scene in the movie is the first scene we shot. and I wanted to do a good job, but I just told myself, you know, I just gotta believe that like I belong here. And once I did that, and you know, Andrew was very helpful with that. I mean, I think they were his words, like, you belong here, you belong where you're at. Then it just became very easy. You know, I was raised by a single mother with 4 kids who worked 4 jobs and made piñatas in the living room, and like also worked at the airport and also had, you know,
Hustler,
food. Yes,
hustler.
I was raised by a
Yes.
woman who made no excuses. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she did what she had to do. So I knew that story. And my niece is there playing my daughter, who so just like, once I just said, you know what, I deserve to be here, it's okay, then it all kind of fell into place, because it's a human story, you know. So yeah, it was a real gift, and it's been a long road and to get here,
Yeah.
but
But
I'm
I mean,
really,
everything you're saying, honestly, you know, can travel and translates to all these other
oh yeah,
spaces, right? Of
yeah,
occupying space, of making sure that, and believing
yes,
that you belong there, right? Whether it's school, whether it's at your job, whether it's
yes,
running, right? Whatever those things that you do in your life, to take space and to
yes.
activate it and know that you belong there.
Absolutely. And you know, and I think that we don't realize, because we're so used to fighting for our voices. I mean, I left the industry for 5 years because I was like, I'm tired. Um, I'm tired of going out for the same 4 roles, honestly. I'm tired of it. I don't want to do it anymore. There's no space for me here. I'm out. And then, you know, of course, you're never out, right? It always pulls you back in. But
Absolutely.
but the industry is shifting a little bit. But I think that's the thing, is that like, the boldness, especially as a woman, especially as a woman of color, the boldness of saying, because we have to shout that we belong here. It's not enough to just say it. We have to say, we belong here, and our stories are valuable, and we have a right to tell them. And we need to get people in positions of power to start greenlighting that. So, you know, things like this festival, like,
Or how about become those people in positions of power and
honey,
start making
yes,
those,
you gotta
hello.
like break those doors down. Yes.
Girl, if you ever need
Yeah.
me to go pull up on somebody, just let me know. We got this. You have the
Yes.
support of Uptown, girl.
Well, that's the thing. This festival, the New York Latino Film Festival, what this festival is doing for our community, I cannot say enough about it. Because, well, first of all, walking into, we were defeated, man. We made this movie with a lot of love and a lot of heart, and we were rejected from basically every festival. And the same story was told over and over and over again. Oh, you don't have a name. We need a way to, because it's all about marketing it, right?
Right.
And what do they all say? We're trying to give a lens to filmmakers, right? But what the New York Latino Film Festival did, what Miguel did, the programmer, is he watched our film. He had a conversation with me about the film, and it wasn't about who was in it, what it was about, the story, and it was about the quality of the film, and even the permission to not be perfect, but to know, hey, there's something here, and I want to amplify these people and give them another opportunity, right? So that
Absolutely.
festival opened so many doors for us. This festival opened so many
Right.
doors for us, because
Yeah.
the New York Latino Film Festival is doing what it says it's doing, which is giving a voice to people that need a platform, that do not have
Yes.
a platform. So you can have, I'm not naming any names, but you can have all the collabs you want. You can have all the workshops you want. You can have all the, oh, this is the Latino arm of this. But when you look at it, the New York Latino Film Festival, you have real-time people that are really elevating quality work, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about. And when you go to the festival, you look around and everybody looks like you. It's great. You're not the only brown person in the room. It's like,
It's
oh my
great.
God, we're all, like the white people are kind of like, oh, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, come on, it's a big
Like, okay.
family. You're fine.
Exactly. It's so true. It feels very much like a reunion also of like,
yes,
of school, of like the people that are in this with you, in the battle with you, of like,
yes,
yeah, you know what I mean? And whether you're a writer, whether you're a screenwriter, or
a
you're a lighting
producer,
person, right?
anything.
Or
Yeah,
makeup, like it doesn't
yes,
matter as long as you're in it together, in this industry
yes.
together. Yeah.
And there's an openness too of community. I mean, I've kept in contact with a couple people from the festival that whose work I believe in, that I just saw for 5 seconds, and I was just like, these are incredible people. This is an incredible talent, and there's a real openness and a real collaboration there. And, you know, I can't say enough about it. Were it not for the festival, the door to HBO wouldn't have even been open to us, because that's where we started having those conversations. So, you know, we owe everything to this festival, and I owe everything to this festival. And once again, New York is just like making all my dreams come true per usual. This little California girl is like just starstruck over New York again.
Well, New York loves you, and at the end of the day, you know what we want to do here is also to amplify it. You know, folks to know that it is on HBO right now, and they can check it out at any time, which is amazing. A lot of times, these films or these projects, you don't have access to it. You know, so let's try to see.
The audience is crazy. The audience that we have now because of the movie, or because of the festival, and because of HBO, is crazy. There's another film that premiered at the festival with us, Coyote Lake. That's also on HBO right now too.
Awesome.
And Glenise Hunter, she did a web series that premiered at the New York Latino Film Festival. Her series Woke is on Amazon Prime. It's like the first episode. So good. She's so good. So good.
Awesome.
She's going to be a star, that girl.
People need, that's what it is. It's like people don't really have a way to find out about all these things. Because there's so many networks. There's so many platforms. And I feel that that's also what's happening, you know, and people really want those specific stories and these specific things. So that's something to think about, even for us, you know.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I've thought about that a lot too, you know, like if you want to, I had a short I had written, and I'm not a director, but I was like, I'd really love, you know, to find a female woman of color to direct this film. And I was just thinking, like, where do I begin? Like, where's the, yes, HBO Max. Yes, now on HBO Max too. I'm reading the comments, but you know, that I thought about that the other day. It's like, we need like a database of, you know, not everybody knows the big names and the people that are working. We need like a database of people that are like creating good quality work but haven't had that big breakout moment.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
That's what
so
we need.
That's it. I'm putting that on my to-do list.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
No, but it's fabulous. And, you know, long gone by, I hope everybody goes checks it out, you know. But I'm also curious as your journey coming in, you know, the fact that you said that you went into an open call and you didn't believe, and then you got this role. Mimi, right? Like,
well, I was a swing. And what a swing is, do you know what a swing does?
Tell us.
A swing is like an understudy that learns 5 different tracks of the role. So I was a Mimi cover, a Maureen cover, and then I did 3 different tracks of like of the ensemble. Lord. So the covers are usually, I don't know what it's like now, but then it was that the covers would be sort of tiered. So you'd have a first cover. You saw me as Mark's mom.
Look at that.
Did I
and people need to understand what it is to cover these roles and to cover, because it's covering lines, choreography.
Yeah,
and all these roles.
I mean, I came from community theater, right? Where I was like,
me too.
I mean, I was like the queen bee in my community theater. You would have thought I was Madonna, just like everybody, you know. And then I go to New York and I'm like, ooh, like I had never done anything. I was coming in there with like a little hat on, looking like Blossom, just walking through, trying to like, I had no business being there, I think. But I think what really, you know, my friend was like, you auditioned, they booked you. That's why you made. But at the time, like I said before, I was just so terrified. So so I was a cover, and my first performance as Mimi, which was when it goes down in like Broadway history.
Oh my God.
So Norbert Leo Butz was playing Roger at the time. And actually I was in the company with Leslie Odom Jr. He was in our company. He was so young, like 17 or something. And we were doing not out tonight, the scene where I kiss him very, very early on. I go to kiss him and I knock his tooth. He has a cap. I knocked his tooth out. Had to go to the dentist. They had to put an understudy on that night. Okay, so that's already at rehearsal. That happened at rehearsal. Then that night during Light My Candle, I'm like, would you light my candle? I set my damn hair on fire. Girl on stage, set my hair on fire.
No.
Yes.
No way.
On fire. Yes.
What?
I had to like pat that shit down.
What?
Hair down. Then
hair on fire, live on Broadway.
My sweet little self just trying so hard. I mean, I wish somebody had video of it. Then I went and did Out Tonight. And literally, they used to have where you'd put glitter in your hair. and you'd like, you know, when she would shake her hair out at the top of the scaffolding, all the glitter would come down. People
that's my favorite scene where she's at the scaffolding.
Glitter, yeah, it was like the moment. The glitter falls in my eye, and I trip and end up like, I'm not
down the stairs.
No, on the scaffolding when I'm on top of it, flip upside down. I'm literally upside down. I kept singing though. I will say that. Upside down. Yeah, had to crawl my ass back up. Talking about tonight, just crawling, going down. It was the worst. I mean, I could not. The stage manager was like running down. I could see him, like he thought I was gonna die. They literally thought I was gonna die.
Oh my God!
But I did not die. I survived, and you know, I think it really came down to like.
Listen, Beyonce would be very proud.
Well, thank you. Nobody would have been proud. I survived, and you know what? It was just the most just tragic, awful. But you know what? I picked myself up. I got back up. I did it again and again and again. And then I, you know, and I learned from like 20 years later, like I learned from it when I think about it, I'm like, that's it. It's the imposter syndrome. If you do not believe you belong somewhere, you will self-sabotage and you will break down those opportunities. And I wasn't ready, I think. But
I mean, and look at how these obstacles kind of presented themselves in front of you so that you could see that you could overcome them and you can kind of like handle them no matter what, whether it was a fire or whatever, that in those moments that you could make it happen. And like, that's amazing. If you would have told that cast and asked them if I was ever going to have any success in this industry, they would have been like, oh, she's sweet. But no. But look at you now. But you know, I really do think, you know, I'm a grown-ass woman now. I'm an adult. So I'm not insecure. I'm not afraid of who I am. I'm not afraid. And I learned a lot from young people too. Young people coming up in this industry are just, they're the ones who are teaching me to like take space, because they're not apologetic about who they are. They're not apologetic about, you know, what they're asking us to consider. And they're changing the industry. They're saying nothing by us without us. Like, that's not something my generation was saying. They're changing the way that this industry looks. So it helps me, I think, to give myself permission to be a woman, to be a mother, to take up space. I mean, that's the theme, right? Just to take up space. And you know, I'm nothing without my failures, period. I mean, that's the truth. If I didn't have those failures, if I didn't have those moments that really just carved out who I am, like none of these opportunities would be present, you know? Yeah. I mean, those life experiences are what also set you up, you know what I mean? So that you can overcome anything. I mean, and I thought you were amazing before, and now I'm just like, you're freaking awesome. What? I'm writing out of necessity. I'm not a writer, but I'm writing out of necessity. I'm writing a pilot about that experience on Broadway. So that's fabulous. Please continue to write. I love writing. I've been writing, and we really do. Yeah, I've been writing. I'm writing a pilot. I'm so excited. Oh, you are? That's awesome. That's good. Good. Keep going. That's what we need, is more of us writing. Exactly. And this is Afro-Latino story based in Washington Heights. So, you know. Awesome. I'm here. You know what I mean? The thing is that about having access. Does anyone know of a new series? You're like, me, kind of. You know, the thing is that people, you know, don't have access and opportunity. You know what I mean? And that's where the New York Latino Film Festival is at. You know what I mean? To open these doors and things. You know, it's important. Even if you're not screening there, buy a ticket, buy a pass, go to that festival, because nobody is shy. And nobody is like bougie, really. Everyone will talk to you. So walk in, get that pass, go network, go to the sit down and watch the panels. They were so incredible. You know, even if your film is not in the festival. And once you've experienced the festival, you really have a family of supportive people that are there to always look at your work and to always want to, you know, lift you up and elevate you. Absolutely. It's such a great festival. I can't say enough about it. I know I'm like, no, but that's such a great point of what you're saying, that it is about relationships, because it's not about the one time that you went to the festival. Guess what? You will know these people for the rest of your life if you stay in contact, right? And it's about being building a network of people that, you know, that could support and amplify, like
Yeah,
you said.
the relationships are really what I'm finding is the big sort of thing, you know, and like, you know, the genuine relationships, not trying to force anything and not trying to ask people for favors, but really just saying, you know, I appreciate
Right.
your work. I appreciate what I saw of you. And if I ever have a position to help you, I want to do it. And continuing to, you know, we have so much power then with like social media, and like that wasn't available to me when I was coming up, but we have so much power to spread our work. You can literally make a movie on your phone. I mean, there are no excuses anymore to not be telling
Right.
our own stories, you know, none. And you
Absolutely.
still see it when you're watching stuff on TV. You still see, like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to name the show, but I'm 99% sure I saw a white girl slap on an accent playing Mexican girl the other day on a very prominent show. So you still see these things happening.
Oh yeah.
But we gotta just tell our own stories. That's just all there is to it.
That's it.
You know.
Absolutely. Be the writers, be the actors, you know,
Yes.
producing it, making it
Be the
happen.
showrunners.
That's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious if people have questions. Feel free to put them in the
Yeah.
question mark thing.
Somebody
But
asked something earlier, but I don't know how to work this. So
don't
I'm gonna
put
let
it
you
in
handle
there,
it.
and like I will make sure and I will check. But one thing that I actually wanted to ask you about that I saw in your writing, your information, is that you're a long distance runner.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes.
I love running, so we need to
Are you
talk
a
about
runner?
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, so I started running out of like necessity. When I told you I took a break from I took about a 4 or 5 year break. I
Yeah.
had 2 kids. Not everybody takes a break when they have kids, which is great. I was burnt out from the industry, and I wanted to go back to college and had a couple kids. And when I was gone, I just couldn't afford a gym membership, and I wanted to work out. And so I was like, all right, I'll go run. I'll run a little bit. And I found myself really loving like the meditation part of it, just the sort of repetitiveness of it. And
Yeah.
being an actor for at that time, close to like 15 years, where like you feel like you have the ability, but you don't have the opportunity, it can be discouraging. What I loved about running was like, I can say I'm going to run X miles, and then all I got to do is put one foot in front of the other, and I'll accomplish that goal. So
Right.
like, it became for me like a real, this is very cheesy, but it became like a spiritual thing, because I was like, okay, I can run 1 mile. And then it was like, I can run 5 miles. And then out of nowhere, I was like, I want to run a marathon. I think I want to run a marathon. My husband was like, okay. And then it was the most, I've only run like 3 full marathons. I do a lot of half marathons, and I do a lot of running at home. But the first time I ran a marathon, I finished that line, and I fully started crying. I was like, ugh. Just like this really emotional moment. What do you think the film industry will be like in the next few months for actors and directors and writers? Hang on, I'm going to answer that. But yes, yeah. I do love to run. And now I just continue to do it. I love the ability, the sort of like, the only thing that gets in your way of accomplishing your goal in running is yourself. And I think that's true for life, really. You know,
absolutely.
The only thing that gets in your way, really, not all the time, but in most cases, is your ability to kind of like stick with it. And I'm living proof. I mean, people have told me every time I come back to this industry, people tell me it's a pipe dream and it'll never happen. And, you know, you should really focus on something else. And here I am, however many years later, and I got a movie on HBO. So, you know, don't listen.
Crush it.
You know.
Hello. Yes.
What do I think the industry will look like? Somebody asked that question.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing from people, like I heard that Tyler Perry Studios is starting up filming again. I think that this is what they're doing is, I think that they're isolating, like they're keeping people, what's the word I'm looking for? Not isolating, but quarantined together while they're shooting. So if the shoot takes a month, they all have to kind of live there for a month. They're doing like testing every day, and they're doing their best to contain it. I think that's what they're doing. There's been some other shoots happening in other parts of the world. I mean, I think people are anxious to get back to work, but you know, it's kind of like a weird industry, because it's the only industry where you can't really can't really social distance if you have like a love scene. You know what I mean?
For sure. I know a lot of rewrites are happening. I'm
Do you
sure.
know what I mean? People,
For sure.
yeah.
I got another question here from Dominic. If you could tell young Erica a message, what would you tell her? What's some advice for young Erica?
Oh, girl, you will never be this skinny or this pretty again. Stop being so insecure. That's the first thing I would tell her.
I love that.
I would tell her, you are the skinniest and prettiest you will ever be. So stop it. But honestly, I think that's so hard because I think the lessons you learn with experience, and you learn from the hard things you go through. But I think the biggest one is like kind of what we've been talking about this whole time is, you know, you deserve to be here, and you deserve these opportunities, and you deserve to be successful, and it's okay to allow it into your life. Because I think that has been the biggest barrier, is the little voice inside me that says like, you don't really deserve this, or you don't really, that we all kind of have. Like, yeah, we talk a big game, but there's a little voice that's like, oh, but really you have to say that you deserve it. You have to believe that you deserve it, and you have to allow it to come into your life, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, we got another one right there. What's your advice for Latino filmmakers to get a short film produced? Which I think goes to the, you know, general question of what are some advice that you have for young Latino creatives to get in, to get produced, to get their stuff seen?
Yeah. I mean, relationships is the first thing. Build those relationships everywhere you can. Cause the secret to like getting a short film made and having it look great is kind of to pull in favors. Because it costs money to rent a camera, you know, it costs money to do a lot of stuff. But I think building those relationships is really, really where it is. You know, it starts with the writing of it. And then like really do that. This is another place where maybe that list would be a good thing to have. You know, there's a lot of grants for filmmakers of color. There's a lot of spaces that are giving money. So if you have something short that you've written, you know, I think you've got to pull in a producer. You got to pull in somebody that can help you with casting, all that stuff. But building those relationships is the best place to start, I think, because you can't do it alone. You can't do anything alone.
Absolutely.
And then and this is something I'm putting into practice right now, because it's easy when you're a mom and you've got work and you've got a husband and you've got kids and you've got this and you've got that, or when you're not a mom, when you're a human being and you've got work and you've got your day job and you've got your dream job, and it's easy to just get through the whole day and not have done any real action towards your goal. So I would say every single day, if you have a goal to produce a short film, the first thing you got to do is get eyeballs on that script, and don't be sensitive. Listen, if you hear the same thing 5 times, you might want to look at it. You know, that's one thing. And then every single day, do something towards what you want. Even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's 15 minutes, put 100%. Every day you got to move towards your goal, towards what you want. And I think those doors will begin to open up.
That's it. Absolutely. Yeah. We even have another question where it comes to, how do you get your glow? Which I'm curious too.
You mean this glow that it's a little light that I purchased from Amazon, honey.
I think it's that inner glow. It's whatever is the, you know, it's you. So I mean, what do you eat? I know you run.
I'm mostly plant-based. Actually, I don't say vegan because sometimes I'll have like a cupcake. And I'm not trying to make my kids not have cupcakes when they go to birthday parties, but I'm mostly vegan. So I eat a lot of vegetables, and I think that's it. I don't know. I do have a ring light like right here glowing on me. Like when the ring light is not on, I don't glow quite as much, I'll say. Yeah.
Well, it's the highlighter. It's you. It's everything.
Thank you. Thank
you. You know, I mean, you're just a great inspiration for all of us here, you know, watching at home, wherever we are, you know, to take action into our lives and to make things happen, you know.
That's really
And if you're ever in New York City, you definitely got to come run with me. I'm
Yes.
actually a part of a running group, and we
Are
run.
you really?
We usually run every Monday nights in Washington Heights.
Oh
Root
my
Crew
God.
and
Oh,
Circa
are you
95
able to run
Athletics.
right now?
Well, we've been running, but we've been like socially distant. So we run, you know, we're on our own.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of hoping that we could come back
Yeah.
together. But on a Monday night in Washington Heights, it's lit, okay?
Oh,
Like,
that
it's
sounds
so
amazing.
lit, and I want you to come experience that. It'd be great.
I would love to do that. I'm hoping to be back. I'm hoping when the festival comes back up, we'll submit something else, or I'll just go as a guest. I really want to go back.
Awesome. You're always welcome to come. You're a friend of the
you.
Latino Film Festival. What?
Yeah.
I mean, you're just amazing. And anything, you know, that you're working on that you want us to amplify, you know, let us know.
Yeah, I definitely will. I mean, right now things are really quiet, and we're just pushing the film on HBO. So watch it if you can, and just keep, you know, highlighting those shows. Baker and the Beauty, Vida's last season already, but you know, Gentefied got a second season. There's a lot of really great work out there. Your new show, which I'm sure is going to be bought any second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk it into existence. That's right.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, is there anything else that you're working on that's coming down the pike that you want to?
I was working on a film with Renee Victor. She played my mom in it. I don't know if you know who Renee Victor is. She was the grandma's voice in Coco. She works constantly. You'd know her if you saw her. She's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And yeah, but right now, nothing. Right now, I'm just writing, and just trying to promote the film. And I'm hoping that, you know, things will open. You never know in this industry. Take it all up a little bit. There you are. Okay. Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
you're fine. You're fine. So hoping that things will open up here, but right now just writing.
Yeah. Well, how can the folks watching, how can we support you? What would you like us
HBO,
to do?
all platforms. It's streaming on all platforms. And you can watch it on demand. You can watch it. You can follow me on social media, and I'll post about it pretty much daily. That's all I do is talk about the movie. You can watch it on that. And I think it's going to be I think it'll be for purchase, I think on Amazon maybe, but on HBO on all platforms. And HBO Max is launching, so you can find it there too.
Awesome. That sounds great. Everyone's going to definitely tune in. And
so.
you know, I was breaking up because my mom keeps calling me. And that's what Latina moms do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're doing
My
something,
mom
tú
is
estás
watching
cocinando,
right
tú estás
now.
haciendo
Yeah,
otra cosa,
exactly.
pero a ti está la mami llamando. So I love my mom, but you know, Mom, I'm live.
My mom does that to me all the time. Well, I was just laughing. She's on here right now, so she can testify. Unless she's not on here, I don't know. She might be, but she'll call me, and then I won't pick up, and then she will call me again, and then I won't pick up, and then she'll call me again.
That's what they do.
My husband's like, "Why does she keep calling you?" I'm like,
"Why?"
That's what she just did to me. I'll be like, "What?" There she is, right there. I am watching. Look at her.
Be like, "Hi, Mom."
Hi, Mom.
We love moms. Latina moms are the best.
Yes, they are.
Oh my goodness.
I'm nothing without that one. I'll tell you that.
There you go. See, I'm sure we could actually go to her and get some stories, you know? See, because she's like, yes.
Okay, bye-bye. Good to talk to you.
We got busted bird mommies. Oh my goodness. Well, this was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's really nice to meet you and good to chat with you. And yeah, I wish you nothing but success and health in the future, and pura vida.
Pura vida. That's it.
We're Costa Rican, so she's pura vida.
Are you kidding me? I love Costa Rica.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's the best place on earth. And shout out to Costa Rica for like, you know, like LGBT and being like progressive and being first. Hello.
Yeah, and we're a green country. Costa Rica's everything. Everybody needs to go there and live there. It's the best. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Don't. Leave it for me.
I know. Don't tell nobody.
No.
It's like everything to me. I went
everything.
When I was younger, and I got a chance to be in the rainforest, and I mean, it literally changed my life. Like, I didn't come back the same. I literally came back.
My dad lives there right now. He lives there. We go back as much as we can, but it's actually been a few years since I took my son. My son's 8. I took him when he was like 2 years old. So we got to go back.
Time. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so beautiful. So that even adds to why you're so cool and you're so you know what I mean? It's pura vida with you. It's like,
yeah, that might be.
Go Bob.
I'm like, Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to talk to you and such a pleasure to meet you.
It was a joy. It was an honor, and I'm truly blessed. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank
Well,
you.
everybody, make sure you follow Erika, and make
Bye.
sure you follow the New York Latino Film Festival.
Yes.
And if you want to tune in to more episodes of Dulce, just go to YouTube, and we got more episodes there. So thanks for joining, everybody.
Bye,
and
guys.
I'm Patty Dukes, and make sure you follow me.
I already do. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, guys.